Mom and Dad, did you know that Halloween is one of the top 5 most dangerous holidays of the year when it comes to pedestrian fatalities, car accidents out there, and injuries? So after giving kids about the talk about eating certain candies, a top accident or injury attorney in Atlanta says make sure you talk with the kids about being safe on the street. Matt Kahn is a top-rated personal injury attorney. He's a partner at Butler, Kahn in Atlanta. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hey Dee, thanks for having me.
I tell you, we don't want to call you, but if we need to call you, we want to know you're there. Okay? Kids run and play. They're having fun Halloween night. So what if they run? There's an accident. How do you determine responsibility?
Sure. So all drivers in Georgia have a duty to be reasonable. And so what constitutes reasonableness depends on the facts. And so with Halloween, we know we're going to have a bunch of kids and families walking around in costumes, which means lower visibility. And so drivers have a duty to be more careful than ordinary. And so, to do that, we suggest, driving slowly and staying off the phone, which is a big problem in Atlanta and Columbus.
I saw in some of your info that the pedestrian deaths will spike by 43%, and that is a scary number. What are some of the cases that you know of that could illustrate why a driver needs to be that extra careful on Halloween?
Sure. So I think the biggest issue with children in general is you don't know how they're going to behave. And so if you're approaching a group of children, they may run into the road. And we've had cases where children enter the roadway and they're hit by a driver. And so as the driver, you're going to want to just be really careful, drive slower when you're going through neighborhoods, stay off your phone. If you've had anything to drink, don't get in the car. And for parents, you want to, talk with your children about stopping at the edge of the road and looking both ways before, entering the roadway.
The most common pedestrian mistakes, would that be not looking both ways? That was such a mantra years ago. Look both ways before you cross the street.
Sure. I still feel like I can hear my mother's voice telling
Yes.
pieces, but yeah, most pedestrian collisions happen because someone's not paying attention, either the driver or the pedestrian. And, we have our court system to let jurors decide who is more at fault in that situation. But I think almost all of these collisions are completely preventable by just being safe and paying attention.
Now, if someone is hit, heaven forbid, by a car crossing the street trying to get to the next house, what's the first thing if a parent is there? What should we do immediately?
So as a parent, the first thing you need to do is make sure that the kid is okay. And then you got to call 911. And for parents who are letting their children go trick-or-treating without supervision, you want to have a conversation with your child about what to do if someone is hurt and emphasize the importance of calling the police, calling 911 and reporting any injury so paramedics can come and the crash can be investigated properly.
Now, Matt, are there some things that we should not do? Not say certain things, not do certain things once it's happened? It might hurt our case because we feel we're right.
One of the most common things I see is human nature is to apologize for something. And so even if you think you may be at fault, you want to avoid making statements that can be used against you. Because, the evidence could come out and you could originally believe it is your fault, but the evidence suggests otherwise. And so, I would just be quiet. Don't try not to talk to the other driver or the other parties. And I think the biggest priority is just making sure that your kid is okay.
Wow. Thank you so much. Good information. We don't like to think about the possibility it can happen, but the stats show it does happen. Thanks for being with us, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.